Hi everyone, welcome to the Healing Lounge, a channel dedicated to exploring holistic health and wellness. We'll be in conversation with practitioners, organizations, nonprofits, anyone who explores holistic health, empowering mind, body, and spirit, sharing that love and sharing that knowledge and wisdom to all of their clients. We are here to guide, ignite, and unite for a better tomorrow. Thank you again for joining us, and let's tune in to see what we have in store for you. Enjoy. Hello, JaeAna. How are you?
Hello, Sergio. I'm great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here and to talk a little bit about what you do and what you're up to.
Yes,
So,
thank you for having me.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, it is my pleasure. So for those who don't know, Jayana is an amazing sound healer, and I would love for you to explain a little bit of what that is and what that entails. So yeah, the floor is yours.
Okay, so sound healing is a beautiful, holistic modality for healing. Really, it's for relaxation. I use singing bowls and I have other instruments that I use, chimes, sometimes drums, various instruments, and the frequencies of the instruments and the sounds just like bathe over us, over our mind, our body, and it just brings a person to deep relaxation. And sometimes they can have, it's really kind of like almost a inward journey, right? They can have beautiful ideas or creativity that comes to mind. Sometimes they can have problems or they can have solutions to a problem. But there's also the physical aspect of it. It's great for opening up any blockages in the body that we may have, like physically or emotionally. So yeah, it's beautiful, it's amazing, and it's my passion and I love it.
That sounds incredible. I would love to dive in more deeply into your company. Sounds so lovely. But
Mhm.
before we do, I would love for you to share what led you to sound healing.
That's a beautiful question. It actually came to me unintentionally, right? I had no um, plans to become a sound healer. I happened to be working at a local mental health facility here in Las Vegas, and I was teaching trauma sensitive yoga to the patients there. And during a holiday party, I was gifted a little sound bowl. I'm going to hold one up. This is not what I was gifted, but this is kind of an example. So this is a beautiful bowl here, and maybe I don't know, can you hear that? So anyway, I started bringing that singing bowl to class with me, and I could literally see like their expressions just change. You could see like all the anxiety and all of it just melt away. And I could see visibly they had a calmer state. Their faces were different, right? Just more calm, relaxed, and their their physical bodies and their energy changed too. So they started calling it the magic bowl. And they'd say, "Are you going to bring the magic bowl to class?" So anyway, I thought, wow, if this little bowl can change somebody like visibly in front of me, I have to know what this is and why it works. So then I went ahead and signed up for a certification course. It was through Vibrational Sound Association, and I was certified to become a vibrational sound therapy practitioner. So we were trained to use the metal bowls and to go on the body, but then also we talked about, incorporating crystal bowls into the practice. And so it kind of just, snowballed from there. And now I'm here and bringing sound healing to the community, which is wonderful. It's beautiful. It's my passion, and I love bringing it to, I guess because I started in the mental health facility where that demographic wouldn't really normally be able to have the experience to go to a yoga studio to afford, right? To go to a yoga studio or something like that. So I guess that's why I like to bringing it to marginalized communities and introducing it to people who wouldn't normally go to a sound bath.
I know you mentioned metal bowls and crystal bowls. What are the difference?
So that's a really good question, actually. Thank you for asking that. So metal bowls, they both work the same way, right? It's the frequency and the sounds, the tones of the bowls that bring calm relaxation to our bodies. Metal bowls have been around for literally thousands of years. They've been used for prayer practice, meditation, with the most known as monks, right? So that has been around for years. Crystal bowls really have only been around since the late 60s, early 70s. And it comes out of basically the tech world. The bowls come from cylinders that I don't exactly know how, but somebody came across it. I think it was in Los Alamos. This guy came across this, basically it was like a dump site where the company was using these cylinders for semiconductors, and then they were just throwing the cylinders away. And this guy passing by came across it, and he was like, let me see what I can do with this. And he kind of just discovered that crystal bowls can make this beautiful sound and bring these frequencies and hertz. And so, yeah, that's basically the difference. Is metal bowls been around thousands of years, crystal bowls really the last 40, 50 years. The metal bowls can, I use specific metal bowls that are made to be therapeutic, to be on the body. So that's the difference too. I would never put a crystal bowl on a body just because I don't think it works the same way. The bowls that I use are specifically made to be on the body. And crystal bowls, there's various things that can go wrong with a crystal bowl, right? But so that's more to be off of the body. But yeah.
That is incredible. I could just imagine that discovery, right? Of someone just discovering these crystal bowls, and it turned into this huge phenomenon.
Right. Yeah.
I love
awesome.
it. And I know you mentioned Hertz. Can you go into a little bit about Hertz?
I can't, I don't exactly know how they work, but I do know that it works. For example, there's certain hertz that go with different chakras or energy channels in our bodies, right? I do know that 174 hertz is a natural pain reliever. I've had people come to a sound healing session and say they have a headache or an ache in their body or something like that. And during the session, I don't have a bowl specifically that is 174 hertz, but I think from a combination of the bowls, that hertz must be made, right? Or it comes up, because I've had so many people come with an ache or a pain, and they said during the session, it intensified a little bit, but I think that's because it has to come to the surface and then it dissipated from the body. So they literally have pain relief after a sound session. So it's amazing. I love it.
Wow, that's incredible. To know that a specific hertz or even sound in general can produce such an outcome.
Yeah.
Wow. Is there anything that that's not affected by sound?
That is not affected by sound. What do you mean?
I mean, with the sound, with the sound healing and the hertz and everything that is just resonating with, is there anything that's not affected by it?
I would say no, because like our everything is energy, right? So it's every sound that you hear plays off of everything else. It's sort of this one huge resonance that we all emanate, this energy. So yeah, that's what I think.
With the sessions that you have with clients, either in one-on-one or in groups, what are people saying about the experience when they're in a sound healing session?
They love it. I do sound healing sessions for schools, for children, for I've done the Las Vegas court district with the judges, right? And senior citizens. And it doesn't matter the age. Everyone always says, "Oh my gosh, that was incredible. It was beautiful. It was lovely." As much as I try to explain to somebody who's never had a sound healing experience, I just tell them you have to come and sit and experience it for yourself because it's different for everyone, right? But that's the best way to experience it and see what happens for you. I will say there have been a couple of times where I've had a couple of participants have, I don't want to say a bad experience, but I think like there was this lady one time that after the sound session, she was feeling nauseous and a little bit dizzy and went home that night. And she said she was nauseous all night and dizzy. And she called me the next morning. And after about an hour of talking, we came to the conclusion that one of the bowls that I was using was this for the sacral chakra. It was a Mother's Day event. And I was like, let me focus on this chakra, right? For women, because that's where we create life. And so I focused on that a lot. And then anyway, what came out of our conversation was that she had previously had endometrial cancer and it was no longer in her body. But I think what happened was those cells were activated in her and it sent a signal to her brain saying, "Oh my gosh, something's not right. Maybe you're in trouble." Right. But we both came to the conclusion like, oh, that must have what happened is that those cells were activated and her mind went into like fight or flight and was telling her, "Oh, maybe you're in danger." But then she wasn't because she's cancer free now. So yeah, a lot of things can come up in sound healing.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
When it comes to clients that you get, do you see a pattern of any like common issues that they're facing when they seek your assistance or when they seek your sessions?
I would say the majority of people, when I do a group session, the majority of people just want to experience it. They hear it's relaxing. So I think our lives are so busy and the world, so much chaos is happening and people just want to take a breather and they don't want to have an excuse to be able to take time out for themselves, right? So they're like, "Oh, let me go to this group sound session and see what it's about." And I think the common denominator there is they just want relaxation and they just need time to rest. People that come to me for one-on-one session usually have some kind of a physical pain or sometimes like an emotional pain or a blockage that they want to clear out of their bodies.
That's amazing. Have experienced a session from you a few times, and I can say for sure it will put you in that place that you need to be at that specific moment. You just feel so
Right.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, let's talk a little bit about Sounds So Lovely. When did it start?
Well, sounds so lovely. I think I've been in business, like actual business owner, right? For 2 years, but I've been doing sound healing for 6 years. But yeah, so I was like, I need to get this in order and I need to get my business license and, I'm doing the whole thing. And I think you've heard the phrase, like, you have to spend money to make money. And now I literally know, like, oh my gosh, I know what that's like, paying all the business license fees and insurance and all of that. So yeah, but it's my little business and it's going really good and I love it.
I love that. What are some projects what are some projects that you're currently working on?
Well, the biggest ongoing project really that I have is I have a contract with the library district, and I that's been like one of my most special projects, I guess you could say, is I'm with several different library branches and I'm able to bring sound healing to the community for free. Like you get to experience it for free. And it's just really, it started out at one library branch and then it went to two and then it was three, and they have me come for like special events. Like yesterday it was just a wellness fair and I opened up the wellness fair at 10 a.m. with a little presentation on sound healing, and I talked about the science behind sound healing and the benefits of it. And then when I was there, library, I guess she's a program director, asked me if I wanted to come back for like a 3-month program, like where I do sound healing twice a week at this specific library branch. So I was like, yes, oh my gosh, that's incredible. So that's one of my biggest projects I have. And I love it. I've met so many people through that. And it's just wonderful.
Wow. Sounds like you have a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Talk a little bit about, if you don't mind, some challenges that you faced as a holistic business and what did you do about it?
I guess the biggest challenge that I have is just people not understanding what it is that I do, right? And so there's a lot of explaining that goes into that. And again, it's like I said earlier, like I tell people, like, you just have to come and experience it because I don't really know how else to explain it, right? I recently did well, I think I told you, I recently did an interview with a local TV station here, and it hasn't aired yet, but I'm really excited for it to air because that's another way that I'm going to get the word out there about sound healing and my business. And like I said, people who don't normally go to a sound healing event or sound bath might say, oh, what is this? Let's go check this out, right? So I've been able to make some good connections and have some PR put out there for me and my business. So that's been really good for me.
That sounds great. I'm excited to see that news special that's coming out.
Yeah.
From where you started in your journey in sound healing, what have you noticed most in that field? Like where have you seen a growth of interest? Have you seen more people get into it? How does that look like from your perspective?
Beautiful question again. When I started doing this 6 years ago, people were like, what are you doing? That's crazy. You're like a hippy dippy person sitting there playing your bowls. And they really thought like I was like out there like a wackadoodle, right? And I'm going to say in the last 2 years, sound healing has like exploded. Not only in the Las Vegas community, but I think everywhere. You cannot go to a yoga studio or an outdoor yoga class or like some kind of holistic fair, wellness affair, and there's a sound healer there, which I think is incredible and it's great. And I think coming out of COVID, right, where people were like, I'm done with the government telling me what to do with my body. And like, I want to have agency over my body and be able to seek these holistic modalities to help me find what's healing for myself. And so it has literally like exploded, and I did a sound session 2 weeks ago at Summerlin Library.
Mm.
And Sergio, there was 165 people that came to that session. And I am just like, It's incredible, right? That these people are seeking this and they want it. Like they're just soaking all of this up. So yeah, there's definitely been a change and a transformation in the community, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yes, and of course, people are going to flock to see you do what you do, and your true expression that comes through when you're doing these sessions is such a beautiful thing to
Mm,
experience. So thank you
mm,
so much for sharing that with the
yeah.
world.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. What advice would you give someone or give to anyone who wants to get into sound healing?
Educate. Educate yourself. I started offering sound healing, Introduction to Sound Healing 101 workshops. It's a 2-hour session. It's been in a group session, but I also offer private sessions if somebody doesn't have time to come to a group session. And in that session, we talk all about the science of sound healing, the history behind it, the different instruments that can be used, and basically how to conduct a sound bath, right? And these participants that come to my class, I tell them, don't stop learning. Like, go out there, experience other sound healing sessions so you can pick and choose like what resonates with you and what you want to do and what doesn't resonate with you, right? And so that's the biggest thing is like I always am reading and taking trainings and going to retreats because I want to be the best facilitator that I can, because to offer these people really the medicine that they need, right? I don't want to give you the wrong medicine. So I want to be sure that I am doing everything the correct way and keeping up on all of the new techniques that are happening in the world of sound healing.
Yes, well, that's amazing advice. Thank you for sharing that. How about starting a holistic business? What advice would you give someone?
Oh, wow. I sat on it for a long time, right? I was like, I want to do this. I'm not sure how to do this. I didn't really have anybody to guide me. So I kind of just discovered everything on my own, which was really hard. So I would say anybody who wants to start a holistic business, find somebody who already has a business, a holistic practitioner, and see if they can be like mentor you or just help guide you through it, and maybe make some connections in the holistic community, right? I think that would be the first step to starting your own business.
Wonderful. Yes, yes, all of it,
Yeah.
all of it. That's some really good advice. Thank you. I do have a question for you. So your younger self is watching right now.
Mhm.
What message do you have for your younger self?
For my younger self, oh gosh, I would say you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are strong and resilient, and hang in there because your life is going to be even more beautiful than you can even imagine. Mhm. That would be my message.
That is amazing. So tell us, what does Sound So Lovely look like in the future?
Ooh, I recently did this meditation with Ava. She's the owner of the Salt Room, and she had this like conscious women's circle. And anyway, she led us through this beautiful meditation, and it was like call in your future self. What does that look like? And if money was no issue, right? What would that look like? What would be happening in your world, in your life? So what I really want to do is, because I love the libraries so much, and libraries have always just been special to me, I would love to do a statewide like tour, like going to these different libraries and doing presentation on sound healing and offering sound healing through the library. And so that's what my future looks like. That's what I'm going to call into fruition because I'm already like there with the local library. So if I could bring it out to other libraries. But also I do some sound healing with a couple of counseling centers with their clients. And I love to offer sound to those clients also. So it's kind of a mix, right? Like I still want to be in the world with people who have experienced grief or trauma, because this is really beautiful to help heal all of that. But then I also want to go out into the world a little and, experience some other places and bring sound healing there. So that's what I'm going to strive for, is a library tour across the United States.
That sounds incredible. Imagine going to all of these different libraries, touring, getting to see different places, people, and
Yeah.
experiencing everything,
Yeah,
right?
I would love it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really that really brought something up right now for me. How do you see, I mean, with your experience and what you're doing, how do you see conventional medicine or conventional therapies? How do you see them kind of merging with more holistic practices or therapies?
I really, I do see all of this coming into the world, into the community. I think, like I said, I'm at I'm at a counseling center working with the clients, but then we have the therapists who sit in on the session and they get to experience it for themselves. And so they can say, oh my gosh, well, if this works for me, this can help be, what's the word I want to use? Like it can help be a guide to bring both of those together. I like to say that sound healing is wonderful for healing emotional pain, right? It can kind of transform traumatic experiences and it can reshape it to be like help somebody to see the beautiful things that came out of this specific trauma or crisis. And I said it's great because it's not a pill that you have to take or an injection or a patch that you have to wear, right? And so a lot of times with people who are in addiction or recovery, it is difficult for them to take a pill or another medicine, because then that's something else that can become an addiction, right? But it's trying to help them. So if there's ways that we can merge the two, I think it's beautiful. And I think more physicians are being aware of holistic medicine. I do know of, somebody was sharing with me that there's another counseling center that has started incorporating like acupuncture and acupressure into their sessions and their group work also. So it's awesome. It's great.
That's huge, right? You see that
Mhm.
shift happening in conventional medicine or therapies and
Yeah.
expanding more into holistic practices. And it's a beautiful thing because now we're bridging the gap to not only just the symptom, but also treating the mind, the body, and the spirit.
Right. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so tell us, what's your favorite your favorite self-care daily routine? What does that look like?
Not daily, but the biggest thing that I do for myself when life gets overwhelming and I have to slow down, right? I will put my earbuds in at night and I'll find sound healing on YouTube so that can help soothe myself, help me go to sleep. But I always come back to yoga. Like I've been practicing yoga for over 20 years. I discovered it when I was pregnant with my first son, and he's 22 now. So but yeah, I always come back to yoga, and it's great. It helps me shut off my mind. It helps me pay attention to my breath and to just be present, right? Because I can't, uh, as business owners, we're always go, go, go. And oh, what's the next thing, or how could I have done this better? So yeah, I would say yoga is my number one self-care thing that I do that really helps me.
I love that. I should take up some yoga myself. Turn off this guy right here.
Yeah, right.
Yes. So yes, anything else you would like to share with the audience before we wrap up?
Go, I would say to audience listeners, just go try something new. It doesn't have to be sound healing. Like you said, it could be yoga, it could be anything. There's so many small businesses here in our community that could really use our support, and let's just continue to build each other up. Like I always say, Sergio, like this started like with you. It started with you. Gosh, I don't know, 4 years ago, was it? When we first met and I brought sound healing to the shop there. And then I spoke like, this is what I want to happen with sound healing. And now it's happening. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's incredible. So yeah, just go be supportive, small business, holistic businesses, and just continue to lift each other up, build each other up.
That's beautiful. Yes, I do remember having that event at that shop, and it was such a memorable experience. And I do remember you saying
Yeah. Yeah.
that you were like, "Yes, this is what I want to do," and here you are, you're doing it, and
Yeah.
you're helping others, and you're leading by example, and
Mm.
what a wonderful thing to experience and just to be a part of, and just seeing you grow, see your business grow, and see all of these people benefiting from what it is that
Mm.
you love to do. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. And yes, I agree with you. We definitely have the opportunity to support each other, to support other holistic businesses. And it
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
The more the better, right? Like we need more.
Right.
Myself, I do Reiki, but I would love to just help support other Reiki practitioners and other people
Yeah.
interested in the same thing, if not different things that I am. And it's a beautiful thing to experience, to get out there in the community, support, show the love, because there's people out there that need it. They
Yes.
require your gift, and
Yeah.
I say
Mhm.
thank you for sharing that gift with the world. Thank
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah, so definitely learned a lot today about sound healing, about what you do. Is there anywhere that people can contact you? Website? How can people get a hold of you?
They can find me on Instagram. Sounds so lovely, pun intended. Like, oh, that sounds so lovely. I'm on Facebook, but I don't really use it. That's more like personal. I will send you, Sergio, my email so they can contact me through email also. But the best way is Instagram. Sounds so lovely.
Perfect. Yes, I'll go ahead and drop all of the links below on this video. On there, you'll also see a full bio of what JaeAna does and who she is. And yes, feel free to check her out. Her sessions, her sound healing is incredible. Thank you. Thank you again,
Mhm.
JaeAna, for being here today and sharing what it is that you love to do with us. Yes, feel free to share, subscribe, and like, to anyone who can benefit from this information. Yes, let's spread the word.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Sergio. I appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.